Hey, what's up, guys? If your favorite player's name isn't Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, or I guess you can maybe throw Giannis in there too, then your favorite player's name should be Victor Wembanyama if you have been watching these games. I just wanted to go over the game from Saturday night. This was the first or actually, I mean, the second game of the back to back we had against Denver. I live here in San Antonio. I've been a Spurs fan my whole life that I've lived here. Um, I'm 31 years old now. I was born in '93. So all I really know is the Spurs pretty much winning 50 games just about every season. It seems like we get kind of spoiled growing up here in San Antonio, especially if you're around my age. All we're just seeing is the Spurs winning and winning and winning. Um, we've definitely got used to it, except for these past few years as we're rebuilding um, to draft Wemby, which we have now, of course, done that. Um, I'm not a biased fan. I've been watching the NBA a long time. Like I was saying, always been a Spurs fan, but I'm not going to act like players aren't better than Wemby because there's definitely players in the league that are better than him right now if you're trying to win a championship this year. But once it becomes next year, Wemby's third year in the NBA, um, I'd say he's probably gonna be top three starting next year. Um, if you have been watching the games and you see the impact he has out there. If you're just looking at the numbers for Wemby, he has some of the best stats in the NBA, but it's not really so much about his numbers. Here, let's see here from that second game of the back to back against Denver. This was on Saturday night. So here when we played 39 minutes there, he had 20 points, 23 rebounds, 4 blocks. He shot 7 for 19. So it was a bit of an off shooting night for him. And it just kind of goes to show how great he is already. People are calling this an off night. He had 20 points, 23 rebounds, and 4 blocks. We'll take that all day on an off night there from Wembanyama. Um, he's almost becoming so good, honestly. You can kind of just pencil him in for 2010 and 2 blocks, basically. It kind of reminds me of when Timmy was here on the Spurs, Tim Duncan, and like I said, Tim Duncan's he's basically a god here in San Antonio. Honestly, um, I grew up watching the Spurs. Obviously, we won our first championship in 1999, so I was 6 years old. And then we won 23, 2005, 2007, 2014. Um, we won that first championship again when I was 6. So just through my whole childhood, I've been watching Tim Duncan and all the different Spurs teams, and as you get older, you kind of recognize how great he is as a player. When I was younger, just watching basketball, I was like, this is just what it's like to watch NBA teams in whichever city it is. Um, you're just a younger kid. You don't really look at all the other teams. At least when I was younger, I would just watch the Spurs games exclusively, and I'd see Timmy 20 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, pretty much every night. You can just kind of chalk him in for it. You already know that's what he's gonna do. Um, and now watching Wemby, I mean, like I was saying from these stats here, 23 rebounds, 20 points, and 4 blocks, and people are saying he had an off night, which just goes to show how high the standards are for him. And I'm sure if you talk to Wemby, he'll probably be the first person to tell you um, that he had an off night. I wouldn't so much call it an off night, but it wasn't, I guess, up to his standards there. If you see right here, he was two for 12 from three there. Um, there's no way we can blame this loss on Wemby. He has a huge impact every single game. Again, if you just look at his numbers, he's averaging close to 4 blocks a game. So that's already Defensive Player of the Year stuff. Um, but if you actually watch a Spurs game, start to finish, you'll see he probably has 10 blocks every game that aren't even on the scoreboard. People will dribble down into the lane, they see him, and they just go right out. Any other team, it's an open layup, it's a dunk, but they just see him, they don't even try the shot. They just pass it out, dribble baseline, go back out, um, and those are basically blocks in themselves. Of course, it's not an actual block on the stat sheet. It's not a live ball after a block, so it's not like a almost like a turnover situation where you block a live ball and your team gets it back. But like I said, he just deters so much stuff in the paint. People don't even try to shoot. Um, like I said, I'm 31 now. I've never seen anything in the NBA where people are so scared. Um, I don't use the word scared, but where they're so aware of him, where he's at when they go into the paint near the rim. Like I said, it's usually easy layups, easy dunk against any other team, and it's like a 10-foot space around Wemby, a 10-foot circular range. You're not even shooting in that range. um, People have already said it and been making the comparisons, but I imagine this is what it was like watching Wilt Chamberlain growing up, maybe watching Kareem as well. Um, I was too young to really watch those players, but this is probably the best comparison I can have in my day and age. But again, Wemby had a kind of off game, like people were saying. I wouldn't so much call it that. Just his three ball was 2 for 12, so he was a bit off on the threes. But I can't have someone having 20 points, 23 rebounds, and 4 blocks, and then saying they had an off game. We can criticize the shooting and things like that. But again, his impact is just so big on the defensive end, and just getting greater and greater on offense every game. Um, that again, a lot of the stuff doesn't show up on the stat sheet. He might as well have 10 blocks every game with all the shots he deters there in the paint. Harrison Barnes, 8 for 14, 57% from the field, so very strong game from him. 4 for 8 from three, 22 points, 3 assists, no turnovers. Um, so yeah, I mean, this whole year I feel like there hasn't been one play. I've been watching pretty much all the games through and through. Um, I don't think there's been one time all year where I'm just like, damn it, Harrison, what are you doing out there? He pretty much always makes a smart play, always makes the right play. Um, and yeah, he's just a veteran. I'm never scratching my head at some decision Harrison made because he pretty much always makes the right decision. To be honest with you, move this over here. So yeah, Harrison's been great for us so far this year. Um, he's a little older now. He's not. No, excuse me. Of course, not the athlete he used to be with him aging, but he's still a really good athlete. Um, Still strong on defense, so he does a lot of good things for us out there. Let's see here, Devin Vassell, 38 minutes. Um, I guess you could say he's been on a bit of a cold streak. I don't want to call it a cold streak so much. He had 19 points here. Let's see. The 4 turnovers as well. So, you don't like to see the turnovers, but he played just about 39 minutes. So, it kind of comes with him handling the ball so much. 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Yeah, I mean, Vassell, he's our best pure scorer on the team, honestly. He's the guy we can kind of put in an ISO, put in a pick and roll, and just rely on him to go get a quality shot. He's our best player. Got creating a quality shot for himself. Um, 8 for 20 from the field. If Vassell takes anything less, I want him to take 15 shots or more every single game. Um, as a Spurs fan, I think most people in San Antonio would probably have the same idea there. Vassell is just such a talented scorer that he should never take less than 15 shots with how good his shot is. Again, he's been, I guess, on a bit of a cool streak lately. He hasn't been playing kind of up to his standard, and I'm sure he'd be the first one to say that. But I'm definitely not upset with him taking 20 shots. We want him to take 15 to 20 shots every single game, and I've been noticing the past few games he's been getting into the paint a lot more. He's been finishing with a lot of dunks in the paint. And he's 6'7". He's a great athlete. So we love to see that, and that's going to open up his step back jumpers and things like that, with people respecting him more as he's trying to get into the paint and showing his finishing ability there in the paint. Let's see here, we got Chris Paul, 31 minutes. Looks like he had only 2 points. This last game, he was missing his mid-range jumper that he usually hits, so he's had a bit of an off game shooting the ball. He was only 1 for 9. So of course, that's not up to his standard or what he's really looking for there. But he did have the 8 assists, the 2 turnovers. But just like with Harrison Barnes, when Chris Paul's out on the floor, there's usually never a time where I'm like, oh damn it, Chris, why did you do that? That was a stupid decision. He pretty much always makes the right decision. Even when he misses his little mid-range shot, it's pretty much always wide open, and it was the right play to make. Whether he makes or misses it, he just makes pretty much the right reads all the time. Um, Again, I've been watching basketball for over 30 years now, that I've been alive, and I'm sure Chris Paul knows a lot more than me about basketball and how the floor is spaced and just seeing the court. And he'll make reads that I don't even see. Of course, he has probably the best court vision in the game, or at least right there with the best point guards in the game, even at his age. Um, you see him do a lot of coaching on the floor, getting guys to the right spots on the fast break, setting up our offense in the half court, and he's the best player on our team at doing that. There's no one else who can kind of set up the offense and be an on-court coach for the young guys like Chris Paul can. Um, you know, like I was talking about Harrison again earlier, him and CP are great for our development, and they're teaching the young guys a lot out there, and kind of helping them mature and become better professionals. See, Zach Collins. People have been honestly talking a lot about us possibly trading for De'Aaron Fox, and if y'all been watching the Spurs games, probably the past 5 to 10 games, Zach Collins has seemed a little bit off. He seems, I don't want to use the word pouting, but something seems to be off with his attitude. Doesn't really seem like he maybe wants to be in San Antonio. His playing time has been in and out, but overall, people tend to complain a bit about Zach in San Antonio. I'm here where I live, but I feel like he's a pretty decent backup power forward, backup center. He doesn't do anything crazy out there, but again, he's not really making a lot of dumb plays. He's usually in the right place. Um, he might take, I don't want to say an ill-advised three. I never really like to see him shooting too many threes, but he had a couple open ones. At the top of the arc that he shot in this game, he was 0 for 3, 4 points. Let's see, he had no turnovers. 4 rebounds. He'll get to his little floater off the Chris Paul pick and roll there and shoot that little floater right there inside the free throw line, and usually hits that shot, but he missed a couple of those this game. But again, I feel like Zach Collins is a professional player, and he's a serviceable backup. I don't think he's anything crazy or anything like that, but he's a solid backup center, solid backup big man to have. All right, Keldon had 27 minutes in this game. He was 3 for 8. Let's see. Put up 10 points. One for 5 from 3-point line. Only 1 turnover this game. That's one thing about Keldon. He can be a little turnover prone. He's our longest tenured Spurs, so of course we love him here in San Antonio. But like when I was talking about Zach a little while ago, I feel like Keldon would probably be part of our trade package if we're trying to make the trade for De'Aaron Fox. When the season started here in San Antonio, we were we were kind of anticipating on being in the sweepstakes to get maybe Ace Bailey or Cooper Flagg's probably gonna be the number one pick. So I don't know how feasible that was, but people here in San Antonio were kind of thinking maybe we'll get one of those top 10 picks, get a lottery pick. But with how good Wemby's been so far this season, I don't really see us. Definitely don't see us getting a lottery pick unless we get it in the form of our Hawks pick. 'Cause we do have the Hawks first round pick as well. So maybe we get a high pick from the Hawks pick. Um, and then, yeah, we're just ahead of schedule in our rebuild. No one expected Wemby to be this good this fast, but he is, and we're already ahead of schedule. So I don't really know what we should do, honestly. As a fan here in San Antonio, I kind of think we should make the trade for De'Aaron Fox to put another All Star next to Wemby, and then we can get the 7 or 8 seed this season. I don't really have any doubts about that. If that's our goal, we can definitely make a trade and get there. Um, don't want to trade too many of our first rounders. I think we have several first round picks, of course. I think we have one going 2027. I think we have a 2029 as well. So that'll be, the 27s in 2 years now, 2, 3 years. The 29s going to be in 4 or 5 years from now for that one. So that'll be right in the middle of Wemby's prime. Steph Castle will be pretty developed by then. Um, Vassell, I feel like Vassell's pretty untouchable in the trade packages, um, just with his contract and everything he's doing for us out there. Um, but yeah, I think we kind of want to hold on to those 27, 29 picks, because if we get another lottery pick, another first round pick right in the middle of Wemby's prime, we're competing for championships. If we can just load up again and keep our championship window going longer, um, just with draft picks we're adding to the team, that's definitely something we'd want to do. Um, but yeah, back to Keldon. He had a decent game. Um, it's kind of hit or miss with Keldon. Honestly, he'll come in and he'll have like a great game. It seems like he'll have a very good game, or he'll have kind of a mediocre to bad game. And this game was just okay. 3 for 8 from the field, 1 for 5 from three. I feel like he kind of shoots too many threes. He's really hit or miss on that. If he's on from three that night, he's either going to shoot 4 for 5 or he's going to shoot 1 for 5. That's kind of how it goes with Keldon's up and down as far as how hot he gets. Julian Champagnie, we love Julian here in San Antonio. He's already developed so much from when he originally got here. 2 for 3 from three, 2 for 5 from the field, 10 points. He had the 3 rebounds. 2 assists as well. Only the 1 turnover. Yeah, I mean, we love Champagnie, honestly. He's on a great contract, so we see him as being part of our championship team here in San Antonio, as far as I'm concerned. Um, Very, very good defender, very good team defender, good one-on-one defender as well. Um, he's turned himself into a very good three-point shooter. You can't leave him open in the corner, can't leave him open on the wings either. He's a pretty knockdown shooter now, with all the work he's done on his shot. And then I think he shoots 91% from the free throw line, so just a knockdown free throw shooter. Um, he's the kind of guy you want to have on a championship team. 3-and-D guy can knock down his free throws. We definitely love Julian. I don't see him going anywhere or being a part of any kind of trade packages. Stephon Castle, we love Steph Castle as well. Only got the 15 minutes this game. Put up the 10 points. One for 4 from three, 4 for 10 from the field. If y'all watch the game, I feel like Castle shoots I don't necessarily want to say too many jumpers, but he shoots a lot of jump shots. He's aggressive when he gets the ball, which is good. Not a ball hog or taking bad shots by any means, but he does shoot a lot of threes. Kind of a lot of long jumpers as well, and I feel like Coach Mitch Johnson is probably telling him to go ahead and shoot him up, just like when the season started and Wemby was shooting. People were saying too many threes, but now definitely no one in San Antonio really has a problem with that. There's still people outside that kind of criticize what Wemby's doing and things like that, just because I don't know, they're old school. They don't want to see a 7'4" guy shooting threes or whatever it may be. But that was part of Wemby's development, and now we're seeing Steph Castle take a lot of longer jumpers, shooting a good amount of threes. He put 4 up this game. Um, Honestly, when I see him pull one up, I'm kind of flinch a little bit. I'm like, I don't know if Steph should be shooting that. Um, but like I was saying, I think Mitch Johnson's telling him, um, kind of just give him the green light. Go ahead and shoot whatever you want. It seems like, as long as it's not a 40-foot three or something like that. But if you feel good about your look, go ahead and shoot the three ball. If they go under the screen, go ahead and shoot that jumper at the free throw line or wherever it is. If they leave you open at mid range, go ahead and shoot. Because the past few games, I feel like he's been shooting quite a bit, um, and maybe there's better places for those shots to go, more efficient. If Steph didn't shoot it, maybe we can move it around and get a more efficient shot, whatever it is. But we're trying to let him develop his jumper. Um, he's a very team-friendly player. He's a great teammate, so he's not going to be taking bad shots at the expense of the team. I think Coach Mitch Johnson is telling him, go ahead and get these shots up, get comfortable with your three, get comfortable with your jumpers and stuff, just to build your confidence up. Um, Coach Mitch Johnson knows more than us. Steph Castle probably has a really good jumper in practice, whatever it is, and they're trying to let him shoot him and get even better. Over time with his jumper. Like I said, it still needs quite a bit of work, of course, but at his age, his jumper's better than Tony Parker when Tony Parker was younger, and Parker developed his mid-range shot, and he was just a knockdown mid-range shooter, um, mid to later in his career. Once he developed that shot, when they go under the screen, he was just knocking him down, and I expect Castle to develop his own reliable mid-range and three-point shot. Charles Bassey only got the 3 minutes. I like Charles Bassey's energy every time he's in there, but excuse me, seems like we just play him a bit to show his flashes. Let him show what he can do out there. I think he's probably a part of one of our trade packages. Unfortunately, when we do decide to make a trade, make a trade for an all-star caliber guard. Hopefully, De'Aaron Fox. Honestly, I think would be my favorite player we can trade for right now. But yeah, I feel like we just play him in spurts, just kind of show the energy he brings, show what he can do. So when we do make a trade package, he can have a little more value in there. Let's see, Trey Jones. He had the 9 points, 6 dimes, no turnovers. 4 for 6 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3. Can't speak for all of San Antonio. I do live here, but I'd say most of San Antonio loves Trey Jones. Um, he's another one of those guys where I never see him make a play where I'm like, damn it, Trey Jones, why did you do that? That was a stupid decision. He pretty much always makes the right play. He gets a lot of back cuts. He gets a lot of easy buckets and layups, even though he's not the tallest guy. He gets a lot of open shots for himself. He's a true point guard. He really reads the floor. He puts himself in the right spots on the floor. If he's bringing the ball up, he gets our guys in the right spots. He makes a lot of back cuts. If you make a back cut, he's throwing you a bounce pass back door for an easy layup or dunk. Yeah, just a real point guard. He makes the right read. 95% of the time. Just a really solid backup point guard for us. But yeah, Branham didn't play. City never really plays. Mamu didn't play. We always want to see more Mamu. Mamu's a crowd favorite here in San Antonio as well, but he just gets seldom playing time there. Yeah, I just want to kind of go through the game really quick. Um, Again, it was just a great team win. End of the game. Oh, another thing, Vassell with that clutch steal at the end of the game of Joker had the dunk. I don't know what y'all think. He could have maybe dribbled out and ran out the clock, but um, he had Jamal Murray there. Jamal Murray's not stopping him from dunking the ball. Maybe he gets an and one, but he's so far up the court that all Jamal could have done is foul him for an and one. He's not close enough to stop that from happening. So I feel like that was the right play. You know, go up by three. Um, they tried the full court pass for the Michael Porter three. I don't know if he even got it off or not, but of course he ended up missing the shot. I saw later Denver did still have a timeout. I don't know that they did, but they had a timeout. But I guess just trying to catch us off guard. Um, the game was pretty fast paced, the whole game. So they just tried to throw the full court pass and catch our defense not set. And yeah, I feel like Porter got a decent shot. They could have got something better if they called a timeout, I think. Um, but but yeah, they got an okay shot there. If you didn't see I didn't catch it the first time. But if you didn't see on the play, whenever Joker passes the ball out and Vassell steals it, Wemby actually tipped the ball. So I think that steal goes to Wemby, honestly, because he tipped it, and then Vassell was the one that caught it. But Wemby's the one that got the tip, so that's Wemby's steal. I didn't even notice that, but it just impacts the game in so many different ways. I didn't even notice that he tipped it. But if you watch the replay, you see Wemby does tip that ball. Um, so that's Wemby's steal. Um, yeah, I just wanted to go over everything in the game. I thought we played good enough to win, of course. Um, just going into OT, we kind of ran out of gas. I think we scored 3 points in OT. The Nuggets just have much more experience than us. Joker with 46 points, he saw 10 assists, 9 rebounds. He played 43 minutes. Felt like Porter Jr. couldn't miss this game either. He had 28 points, 10 rebounds, 2 dimes, 9 for 17, 4 for 9 from three. Uh, Porter Jr. is a great player. He has such a wet shot. And then Westbrook just played great defense on Wemby, to be honest. I don't know how many times Wemby tried to come down and do his rip through, but Russ was just waiting on it. Um, it's easy to watch the game in hindsight and say, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that, Wemby. But Russ ripped him, I think, twice on that rip through move. Russ got 2 steals, and then I think Wemby went to it. A third and a fourth time, it seemed like he went to it again and again, and Russ was just sitting on there waiting on it. People say keep the ball high and stuff like that, but it's tough to have the ball over your head and then go straight into your jump shot with the ball up here over your head. So Wemby likes to rip through, try to draw the foul, get swatted, then he goes up and hits his jumper. Like when he likes to dribble down and pull up from the free throw line. I think he had 2 of those this game where they hit him. He got fouled and he gets the roll on that free throw line jumper. So that's kind of what he was going for. But of course, Wemby's still young. He's still developing. He's going to learn how to get better. Um, People have made the point, but he hasn't had a full off season to just work on strength training or work on developing his go-to move. He doesn't even have a go-to move yet. He just does everything. He's just kind of freestyling out there on the court. He hits threes, he hits mid-range, he dunks, he goes off the dribble. He does everything already. But yeah, he just needs an off season to kind of develop his go-to move, and then it'll be really scary after that. But yeah, I just wanted to review the game really quick. Just kind of ran out of gas going into overtime. The Nuggets, they're a veteran team. They have the championship experience that our team doesn't quite have yet. But these 2 back-to-back games, they were great for us, great for our experience. Won the first game of the back-to-back, of course, and then we lost the second game. Um, But I think it's probably better for our team that we lost this second one. If we won it, we're just kind of looking like, hey, we have so much stuff right. We are on a good path. But it's better to lose, and then we look at every little thing we did wrong, and make adjustments to be better next time. Where if we win, we're kind of just thinking, hey, we're at this level of play. If we can match this again, we'll win again. But yeah, I thought that was good. We got one win out of the back to back. Lost the second one, so we'll kind of analyze our play, make more adjustments, and it's just great. Great for our young guys. Great for Wemby's development. But yeah, just wanted to make a quick video. If you made it to the end, please like and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you guys later. Thanks again.